Donald Trump is sending his border czar Tom Homan to Minnesota, and I need you to understand what that actually means. Because this isn't a sign of strength, this is panic. This is a president whose agents have killed 2 American citizens in 3 weeks, whose approval ratings are in free fall, and whose own party is now calling for investigations. So let's break down what's really happening here. Here's what Trump posted this morning on Truth Social. I'm gonna read the whole thing because the framing matters. I'm sending Tom Homan to Minnesota tonight. He has not been involved in that area but knows and likes many of the people there. Tom is a tough but fair and will report directly to me. Catch that? Report directly to me, not to Kristen Noem, not through the DHS, directly to Trump. Here's the thing. Kristen Noem has been a disaster. Every time she goes on television, it gets worse. She called Randy Good a domestic terrorist. She called Alex Pretty a domestic terrorist. And every single time, the video comes out and proves she is lying. And it's showing up in the numbers. ICE's net approval rating has cratered to minus 27 points. That's historic. That's the worst than any point in Trump's first term. The HS approval has dropped from 59% to 42%. So, what does Trump do when his operation becomes politically toxic? He doesn't change the operation, he changed the messenger. That's all this is. Homan is better PR than Noam, and that's it. That's the whole strategy. Now, let me tell you who Tom Homan actually is because you need to understand what's coming. This is what he said in 2017. If you're in this country illegally, you should be uncomfortable. You should look over your shoulder, he said. At the Republican National Convention last year, he told immigrants, you better start packing now. The Atlantic called him the intellectual father of family separation. That's the policy that ripped children from their parents at the border. That's Tom Homan's legacy. Here's what he said specifically about Minnesota back in December. There's a large illegal Somali community there. We are going to arrest every illegal alien that we find there because they're sanctuary city. We got to send more resources there to flood the zone. Trump isn't sending Homan to de-escalate. He's not sending him to investigate the killings. He's sending him to, quote, flood the zone. This is escalation dressed up as damage control. Let's talk about why Trump is panicking in the first place. January 7th, Rennie Good, 37-year-old mother of three, poet. She had just dropped her son off at school. She stopped her carlit eyes, vehicle's pass. She told the agent, and we have this on video, that's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you. He shot her 3 times, once in the arm, once in the chest, and once in the head. Kristen Noem called it domestic terrorism. Mayor Frey watched the video and said, direct quote by him, that is bullshit. And in January 24th, Alex Pretty, 30 years old, ICU nurse at the VA hospital, he spent his days caring for veterans. He was filming agents and helping a woman who had been shoved into a snowbank. The Washington Post did a forensic analysis of the videos actually. They found that an agent removed Pretty's gun from his waistband. Less than 1 second later, another agent opened fire, 10 shots, while he was pinned in the ground, 3 wounds in his back. And Stephen Miller called him a would-be assassin. The tweet got community noted because it was a lie. 2 American citizens, both 37 years old, both called terrorists, both killed by federal agents. Both had video proving the administration's story was false. And instead of accountability, Trump sends his enforcer to flood the zone. Here's what really tells you everything you need to know about these administration's priorities. They're not investigating the killings, they're investigating the people who complain about the killings. Governor Walz, Mayor Frey, Attorney General Ellison, the mayors of Minneapolis and St. Paul, all subpoenaed by a federal grand jury. The charge? Conspiracy to impede the federal officers. Attorney General Ellison said it perfectly. Trump's DOJ is more focused on investigating my office than the killings of Renee Good. It took a federal judge issuing an emergency order at 1 a.m. to stop the administration from destroying evidence. Think about that. A judge had to order the government not to destroy evidence of a shooting they committed. And when Trump asked if the shooting was justified, you know what he said? We are going to wait for the investigation, he said. You know what that means, right? It means there will be a never real investigation because these are not law enforcement officials trying to find the truth. They don't want the truth. The truth is on the video. The truth got them community noted. The truth tanked their approval ratings. But here's what I need you to understand. The resistance is working. On January 23rd, Minnesota had its first general strike in 80 years. Tens of thousands of people marched in -9-degree weather. Wind chill was -35. Over 700 businesses closed. More than 1,000 labor unions endorsed the action. And here's the thing, even Republicans are breaking. Senator Cassidy, Murkowski, Tillis, Collins, and the Ricketts have all called for investigations. That's not nothing. Governor Wolf said something on Saturday that I think perfectly captures this moment. To Americans watching right now, I got a question for all of you. What side do you want to be on? The side of an all-powerful federal government that can kill, injure, menace, and kidnap its citizens off the streets? Or on the side of a nurse at the VA hospital who died bearing witness? He's right. We are not having a political debate anymore. We are having a moral debate, and the fact that Trump had to sideline his own DHS secretary and send in his top enforcer tells you that they're losing. Tom Homan arriving in Minnesota tomorrow isn't a sign that Trump is in control. It's a sign that his operation is falling apart. 3,000 federal agents, 2 dead American citizens, historic protests, a general strike, plummeting approval ratings, his own party calling for investigation. And his response? Send in the guy who invented family separation to do better PR. There are now more federal agents in Minneapolis than the 10 largest metropolis departments combined. This is an occupation, and they want you to believe it's about immigration. It's not. It's about power. It's about silencing dissent. It's about making you afraid to film them, afraid to protest, afraid to stand up for your neighbors. Don't let them.